System for the electrical needs.
Yeah, because you look at the electrical system for the entire year. The way you size the system is that you look at your total year's electrical use and then you put up the number of panels that's going to meet that use. So you're looking at a total year rather than just a month by month.
Jody, if you remember back in the 70s, magazines like Popular Science and Popular Mechanics were filled with all kinds of do-it-yourself solar this, do-it-yourself solar that. The industry has taken a multi-quantum leap since those days, hasn't it?
Well, it sure has. The solar panels, the solar voltaic panels in the 70s were 10 to 15 to $20 a watt, and they've come down exponentially in price. It keeps the fantasy. I remember reading in the 70s, we will soon have $1 a watt solar. Well, that is coming. It's coming to pass finally, 40, 50 years later.
Okay, so if anybody has any question, is solar viable now? It certainly is, and on more than just the individual home. So let's talk about what kind of artists or artisans or crafts you'd like to see come into your building that will make up Solaqua.
Well, we're looking for artists that want to manufacture product. The ideal would be a glass blower who would design, say, a lamp with the metal worker, and then come up with some design, and then not necessarily have to make the 50 or 100 of those. Would now train people to do the manufacturing, and they can work on their one-up pieces of art. So the idea actually is to be manufacturing at the site. And to set up a manufacturing recycled products. I'm envisioning recycled glass tile, recycled glass and countertops, a small metals foundry, sculpting, casting sculptures, and even hardware for houses. Speaking of houses, that's another of our major projects that we're looking to do, is to start making shipping container houses that have solar integrated in them. The solar is engineered to the house, and these will be modular in the sense you just plop them down, and now your house faces south, and your house will make its own energy, its own heat, and be quite self-sufficient. We also have 180 acres of the property, and the plan is to start a community land trust, and that the people working at the mill and others will be able to live on the property in houses that are built right on the spot locally. And that's the idea, is to have cabinet makers and fabricate everything that goes into the house on site.
So this is definitely an application of act locally, think globally. You're proving that manufacturing certainly is possible with alternative energy. Let's say that I had a company and we produce glass lampshades and glass chimneys for replica kerosene lanterns and kerosene lamps and things like that. Do you envision the day when some company would come in and say, you know what, this is where we're going to build our facility, and this is where we're going to manufacture our products? Will there be enough power for someone who wanted to come in and just say, we are the glass globe for lamps company, and this is where we're going to do it, and we're going to use solar to power our operation?
That sounds great. That's exactly what we're looking for.
And not only do we have enough power, but the property is also very centrally located, right off I-90. It's got loading docks, so it's a perfect property, and it's got lots of space, of course. So it's a perfect property to set up a business like that.
Where do you see the next big breakthrough coming in solar technology? Is there something you're working on that is...
Well, actually, New York State, we think, is about to unveil a plan to do a solar thermal rebate. They've been given some money, and I think this will push the solar thermal industry ahead by leaps and bounds, the way the photovoltaic industry has been pushed over the last 10 years.
A lot of homeowners they'll drop $20,000 to redo the kitchen cabinets, get no real financial benefit in terms of long-term savings by doing that. The average home in this area, say a house like about this size and this vintage, what could $20,000 investment in solar and in the insulation, all that, what could be done for, say, $20,000? The same price as putting in a few new cabinets.
Right. Well, for that amount of money, you could put in a solar system, and you have to remember, for every dollar that you save in renewable energy, with a renewable energy system, you add $20 of value to the home. So you may put in a system that, let's say, saves $800 a month, but that adds $16,000 of value to your home immediately. Now, not only that, then the system starts producing, and after it pays for itself for 10 years, after 10 years, then you're going to get another 15 years of energy production. So it's literally something that you buy that pays you back. And there's almost nothing else. Your car doesn't pay you back. Your toaster doesn't pay you back.
The kitchen won't pay you back.
The kitchen isn't going to pay you back, but the solar system actually will.
You are on the inside of the industry. You study it, you develop it, you install it, you make it. So you're very aware of all this stuff, of its viability. Why do you think the public has been, I don't want to say skeptical, but uninformed, or kind of a combination of uninformed and skeptical as to the practicality of solar?
Well, it's a learning curve, absolutely. But, people have said to me, why hasn't solar caught on? And I say to them, are you kidding? We've been so busy, and all of our other solar installers that we know have been up to their ears in work. So solar is catching on. And if you look around, you can see it on your neighbors' roofs. We've installed all over Columbia County.
This current financial malaise, and I use that term kindly, how has it impacted your business in a negative way, or has it impacted it in a positive way?
I think it can be a little of both. I mean, I know that consumers are, especially residential consumers, are very reluctant to let go of their money. The nice thing is that we can prove to them that solar is a very, very solid investment. In another way, sometimes I think that the economic malaise has made people think about their future and say, well, what's going to happen to us if oil goes to $4 a gallon again? We see the price of gas going up. How am I going to heat my house? And they start thinking about their energy. And those are the kind of thoughts that are good for the solar industry, because we want people to think about their energy.
Jody, how many employees did you have in 2004? Do you know offhand?
Not offhand, but I know last winter, January and February, we added 3 new employees in the dead of the winter of 09, 2010. We added employees.
And do you see over the next 5 years, when this project gets further along, what's the economic impact going to be in terms of local jobs, do you think?
Well, we're seeing 40 to 50 to 60 people working in this mill. I mean, it was the economic engine of Chatham, and in 1996 it just it closed. They had a few weeks notice, and this mill just closed its doors.
Would you be open to a company that might possibly make a competing product in the solar field? Say, we want to come and manufacture our stuff at your building.
Well, we don't manufacture photovoltaic panels, and we don't manufacture solar thermal panels. We buy those. Okay. So we would be happy.
You would be thrilled to have someone say, I want to make solar panels, and I can do it more cheaply if I come into this place where it's powered by solar already.
Right. What I see happening is probably not so much the manufacturing, because it requires so much capital investment. But I do see a need for distribution. And again, we're perfectly set up to help people with distribution of solar products.
And we've had 3 near misses. We had 3 companies want to do solar distribution, and it just hasn't worked out. The major one having decided to go to New Jersey instead of come to New York.
But because the industry is growing so rapidly in the Northeast, I think we're going to see companies like this start to relocate into the Hudson Valley area.
And SunDog itself has begun actually manufacturing solar product. Betsy can talk about the Solar Rover, and we're looking to manufacture a small solar generator that's on a little cart. They would have a solar panel and a